All right, we got a cold start, we got a hot start, whatever you want to call it. This is Reverse Polarity, episode 19.
Ooh.
I'm your boy HifiVega. You know who I am. This guy over here, he's the man who never sleeps. Car Audio's own Dr. Polarity Popper.
Oh,
the
gosh.
man who once said, "Listen, Morty, I hate to break it to you, but what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed." What's up, Dean?
Jesus Christ, tell me that was on the screen. Tell me that was on the screen.
That was on the screen, and I bobbled it at the end, dude. I thought I was going to get it, but I had to write that one down.
Oh, my gosh, no doubt. Oh, who's not a Rick and Morty fan for sure,
Yeah.
right? And I will tell you this, as far as the man who never sleeps, this week, I don't know what this week has been cold here for us. And so I have a 55-degree rule. If it's below 55 degrees, I don't go running. If it's above 55 or above, I go running. So tonight was the first night I could go running all week. So this week I've been getting home and getting my edits done and going to bed like at a normal hour. And it's been so weird because I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, why am I still in bed? Like, what the hell?
I should edit something extra right now at 3 or 4 in the morning.
No. So what's up, Fro? So I wanted to start out the show before we get into the topics while we still have our 17 minutes of chat time, and we'll get to our poll. One of the things, as you and I both know, and everyone that is a YouTuber or has any social media with people that group together around us know that not everyone sees the same way you do. And last week was no exception. And I got a text from somebody on a random video. This was pure chance that I even saw this because this was on the Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo clips, which I don't even go to that channel and read the questions. I apologize. It's just the clip pretty much is a question and the answer all in one. There's really no reason to go further. It answers itself. But this person took it upon himself to go to the one channel that we never go to. And the only reason why I saw this was because it was the only email in that box because I deleted all the emails. I want to read it to you and we're going to look at it because I think it's kind of funny. Plus, it's going to dovetail into our topic for today, which is cool. And I know you're going, how's that going to happen? But all right. First off, let's talk about grammar. All right. There's periods and there's commas, and they're not interchangeable, but you need at least a couple of them when you're typing a paragraph. Okay. A sentence is a sentence, and then there's a period, and then another sentence, and like 3 to 4 sentences can make up a paragraph if you get to the point. But one 50-word thing is not a paragraph. Okay.
So you're going to read a sentence.
I'm going to read a sentence, and then we'll look at it. I'm not going to give you his name because I really don't care, and it's some dumb YouTube name anyways. It doesn't mean anything. Just some advice, Dean. You're obviously super educated and experienced when it comes to car audio and installation, but I watched your... All right, so we put the but no comma. Mm-hmm. But I watched you on HifiVega's show. You tend to talk down to your audience or laugh at their questions, which, with a pointy nose and a hat, not the other which we're actually talking about. God damn. Which is excellent, all caps, way, so he's yelling at me, way to lose viewers, comma. People, he didn't do the I'm doing the people will quickly go elsewhere to find information, period. So all those words, that was the first two. Okay. In other words, don't be a jerk off like EMF, which I have no idea who that is. So that could be why he referenced him. You're not saving the world. It's car audio, nothing more, nothing less. All right, so let's look at the beginning of this and let's look at the end of this. So first off, he's telling me that everyone's question is important and that me sometimes laughing because I'm excited and I have passion for this. And like, hey, let's be honest, okay? Some of this stuff, it's not laughing. It's just... it's fun. We're literally trying to have fun on this freaking channel and this show. I'm sorry, not this channel. The show is all about fun. I mean, that's why you guys tune in. You know, if you want seriousness, there's plenty of serious videos that are out there, and we do a ton of them. This one is a little bit more relaxed, kick back. I mean, Jesus Christ, there's Star Wars shit everywhere. I mean, come on. How serious can we take this? All right? All right. So don't laugh because this is serious. However, you're not saving the world here. So wait a minute. Which one is it? Am I not? All right. So is it serious and I should worry about saving the world? Or you understand where we're going with this? It doesn't make any sense to tell me that take it serious, but you're not saving the world.
Yeah.
What the freaking dumbass?
You got to ride the line, he's saying.
All right. So, and then the other thing is, yes, obviously you're super educated and experienced. So he doesn't know who I am. That's apparent there. He doesn't understand I have 30 years of experience in this. The other channel we do, the 5-Star Car Stereo, is a pretty big channel, and that we put out tons of content. And we've been doing this for a really long time. And that's, in like, I teach classes, I have awards. Who gives all the fun shit that all the thing that the baggage that's on my backpack that I can sit here today and I can talk to people and help you out and make your life better, hopefully. I'm not saving the world though. That's off the table.
You're saving the fuses is what John says.
No, I blew some fuses on this one. So does anybody know who EMF is? I mean, I thought he was a musician. Isn't that like an 80s rock band?
Well, I think it might be that dude,
band?
but he also does a YouTube channel. And
I mean, I don't know the guy, so I don't know if
he sells Sundown Audio and his own brand stuff, and he's kind of notoriously a jerk.
Okay, so that explains. So apparently there's me and there's EMF, and we're both jerks. Haley thought this was funny, by the way, so for the rest of the day, she says, "What's up, jerk?" So really, I guess the long and short of this is that I'm going to continue acting the way I do on the show because this show is made to be fun. It's made to be loosely about car audio, and we get to have a good day. It's the end of the week for most of us. For most of you, tomorrow's Friday, payday. So we go off on a nice laugh, feeling good about car audio because, hey, it might not be saving the world, but it's making the world feel better. And as far as if you don't know anything about me, I apologize, but feel free to head over to the 5-Star Car Stereo YouTube channel. And there you'll find 3,000 videos, roughly, I think somewhere in that ballpark. And you can kind of get an idea of who we are and what I do and my partner, Fernando, and all that fun and excitement. And with that being said, don't be a douchebag in the comments, people. Like,
I forgot about that comment, but I actually got the same exact comment on whatever show it was.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So he must have, I ignored it. Yeah. So he must have felt that he had like, well, I got to pop it over here so it can be seen.
Did he say that about you or just me?
You. It was just about, it was basically the same thing.
Yeah. So every question that we ask, I'm going to continue to laugh about because it is fun and exciting. I mean, let's be honest. Could I sit in this chair? Could I put out as much content if I did? Could I care this much to where this pisses me off? You understand? I mean, how could you? Are you that like out of touch with? I mean, I'm not doing this for like. I mean, this is like this show out of all the shows we do is the funniest. It's like Fernando's like Thursday, right? And I was like, oh, thank God I get to do the show tonight. It gets to have some fun and just like talk about, and it like there's not 5,000 questions getting thrown at us a million miles an hour. This is a fun show to do. It's the whole purpose of it. It's like kick back, get your beer, get your Kool-Aid, get your dinner, sit down, put the kids in the other room for an hour, and let's talk about adult car stereo fun and excitement, And
then get in the live chat and make fun of me about CCA wire and have fun like everybody else.
EMF doesn't sell anything. It just pre-orders. Ow, Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
Some people just love to contain. Yeah, to complain. And I'm not even one of those guys that says, where do you want me to send your refund check to? Because it doesn't matter. Just don't watch the damn show. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just don't watch the show. I don't care. If you don't like what I'm saying, it's YouTube. There's thousands upon thousands of minutes uploaded every minute. So go watch something else and then come back and, I don't care. Yeah. It's like,
when you come back, we're still going to be doing the same thing. So,
yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, who are you to tell me how to act on my show? If you don't like it, I mean, where's your show? Where is your content? Where is you trying to make a difference in any way, shape, or form? Now, if you are, please, seriously, show me. I would love to follow and figure out what you're trying to do. But, you know, hey, one person at a time trying to make car audio better. You know, I don't know what else to do. So,
well, if anything, I'm the one that has the hot takes. I think I pretty much said Texas sucks. 2-3 shows ago?
I mean,
the whole state of Texas. So,
well, at least it wasn't Louisiana. There's a comedian that's still reeling from that one. So, you know, the other thing too is, like you've always said, man, people need to lighten the fuck up. Okay, and I emphasize that word because, good God, man. Yes, it's car audio. It is not saving the world. This is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. It's enjoying. There's one thing better than this. And hopefully if you have someone to do it with, it's even better than doing it on your own. But it's just car stereo. Let's just enjoy it. What else is better than this? I mean, we get to play loud music, play with cool shit, neat tools, funky stuff. I mean, it's like a man cave on wheels, guys. Hold on. Somebody said be fair. I hate Texas and Louisiana.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, before we get into our thing, appreciate it, Scott. What's going on, my dude?
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine. I just wanted to wind up just a little bit.
That was the most epic Dean rant we've had on the channel. So
I know that was. And trust me, we were talking about it today at work. I was like, "Do you think I should read that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah,
you got to." I mean, at what other show could you read that on?
Oh, I couldn't do it on any of our other shows. No,
this is what we did.
Yeah, that's why it's fun.
Yeah.
Did you do a poll? Tell me you did a poll.
I did a poll. Let me share it here.
Let's see the poll.
Let's see if this is just a little bit different than what our usual poll is.
Ooh.
What is the worst artificial flavoring? Now, I could have added several different things, but I stuck with only fruit here.
No, this is good. This is good. Dude, that is so funny, that banana, because banana, no kidding. Laffy Taffy, banana Laffy Taffy is like, dude, dropped out my favorite.
Oh, no way. I hate banana Laffy Taffy.
I love it. Dude, we'll go to the you know how the mall always has that oddball candy store that just sells like, you know, oddball, like what is it, the root beer barrels and all those other silly little things. Dude, Haley and I go straight for the banana flavor Laffy Taffy.
Dude, I literally, like, if we buy them, I take them out of the bag and I just like throw them to the side.
Oh.
And then when people come to the house, there's like a candy bowl dish of just the banana Laffy Taffies. Banana Laffy Taffies.
That's so funny. Dude, I love banana Laffy Taffies.
I don't like the strawberry ones either.
Oh, strawberry can just...
Yeah. I like the grape and the green apple ones. That's the only Laffy Taffies I like.
Grape's okay. Green apple...
Yeah.
No, but
there is some funny comments about some of the flavors.
Oh, I'm sure. I'll have to go back and read them. Unless you got some banana, you know it's bad. Kool-Aid doesn't even offer flavor. So years ago, speaking of bananas, just off tangent here. You know, the Banana Republic isn't a place where you buy clothes. It's an actual physical thing. And someone wrote a book that I had a book on tape, and I listened to a little bit of it about the Banana Republic. And it's all about bananas and how why we eat bananas, how bananas get here, and how like the slave trade that happened because of bananas. And it was all to make the banana outsell the apple. Okay. Yeah. Because they wanted to, and so these banana republics were formed in South America, where they were just literally, these corporations would go in and turn the whole freaking town into a slave town just around bananas, which I thought was just insane. But then the other thing too, and this is where I think the Laffy Taffy thing comes in, is that the bananas we eat now are not the bananas that we ate as kids. Okay. Yeah. Because those are gone. The banana diseases that they get that wipe out whole crops, they're literally, it's one of those fruits that they're literally chasing the COVID, banana COVID, to keep one step ahead of that so we can still get bananas. But every time we get a variant of banana, we lose a little of that banana flavor. So I'm thinking Laffy Taffy just hasn't caught up. And we probably, you know, when we were kids, we were probably eating bananas that tasted more like Laffy Taffy than it does now. Like you eat a banana now, and there's really not a lot of flavor to bananas. I like them. I mean, I have a banana every day. You know,
I like the taste of bananas. I don't like the texture.
I got nothing, man. That's my breakfast every morning is a banana. So it's like I literally have a banana for breakfast and an apple for lunch, and that's it. You know?
I also got beef with Red Delicious apples. I love apples.
Ooh.
Red Delicious apples are gross, man. They're just mealy and.
So I ate a brand called Kiwi.
I'm trying to think which one.
Kiwi, 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 something like that.
I like the Fuji apples.
Fuji are good. There's a bunch of, but I'm stuck on these right now because they're just like, oh, so good.
Yeah.
But I eat bags of them. It's like trying to keep the doctor away.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you can't go wrong with a good apple, a good orange.
Every day. So oranges I can do in the summertime, but like I have to be ready to eat an orange because I'm one of those guys. It's like, oh, it's gonna make my hands all sticky.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get sticky.
For sure.
You know, and then it's like I'm working. I'm like, oh, I smell like cleaner. Fernando will be over there picking like his fourth one, looking at me, going, "What's the problem?" And I'll be like, "Shut up!" As I'm using my knife to cut the peel off and going.
We went through that this weekend. Those little cuties are easier to peel.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll grab those. And I was like, dude, that's $10 a bag.
Yeah.
And then I seen the mandarin oranges, the little ones. I was like, no, these are $3.50. We'll roll with them, and I'll just have sticky hands. It'll be okay.
I like grapes. No, I haven't tried the grapes. I have the cotton candy grapes every now and then, but I like. So every now and then we'll get like organic grapes, and they come in and they're like freaking ping pong balls. Oh, those are so good.
Yeah,
that's all I eat.
They don't last long here. Great. Any fruit, strawberries, grapes, oranges will stick around, but
this has been Fruit Talk with Dean.
Yeah.
We'll end it on this. The funny thing is all I eat at work all day is fruit. When I come home, the only thing I will eat is anything but fruit. It's like fruit all day, anything but fruit at night. It's like salad, chicken, whatever, but no goddamn fruit. It's like
I've had enough fruit.
I had enough fruit for the day. All right. So today's show. Okay. So at the beginning, I kind of teased about how the complaint was going to kind of circle around to the topic. And that was because I've been doing this for 30 years, which means the topic today is that's your
what
cue.
Car audio was like in the 90s.
And I was there and living it.
Yeah. And I was a teenager, if that makes you feel old.
No, it doesn't. Because
I didn't graduate till 99.
Oh, so. Okay. Yeah. Now I feel old. That's like working with Jesus Christ. So turning the clock back, 1990s when I graduated. And it's funny because I always get music confused because like really from 88 to 90 was probably the most influential music that I listened to because that's when I had my car and my stereo. But for some reason, I always get everything after 90 confused with like when I'm remembering like, oh, I remember back when I'm like, wait a minute, that song came out in 92. I was already out of school. I didn't listen to that at school. What was I listening to? Oh, yeah, I was jamming in the parking lot to Tom Sawyer because that was made in the 70s. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Some Abacab. Oh, yeah. Oh, Sir Mix-a-Lot, the first Sir Mix-a-Lot. But no, that was in like 91. Oh, my God, when did we do that? It's like crap. So a bit of history on me, for those who don't know, is I started my first gig as a paid professional in July of 1990. So that's when okay, as a paid professional, meaning that would have been when I got my first paycheck. However, I didn't get a paycheck for 6 months because as soon as I found out, because I had another job, I was over at Procter & Gamble making my real money, and this was my side hustle, was working. So I only had to work for Procter & Gamble Monday through Wednesday. And then, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday was 4 days at the car stereo shop. I missed that one. I didn't read it. I was talking.
Yeah. They're just 90s hanging out in car audio shops, reading magazines.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes. 100%. Dude, we had so many guys that it's like, that's what they did. They hung out. We had director's chairs and dudes would come in and you just shoot the shit. And just like we had magazines scattered all over the place. And, it was real light and fun. And, it was a good time. I mean, and it was cool. Like, you could just hang out in a car stereo shop and like didn't bother anybody because like that was fun. It was like there's people here. You know, it wasn't like everyone wasn't in a freaking hurry to get on to the next thing. It's like, or just like
this is serious. This is very serious business. We're saying
it was just so fun. But anyways, I didn't get a paycheck for like the first 6 months because first I built my dream car audio system, and it was, dude. I mean, oh my god, like it was like I can take all this stuff. Yeah, seriously, yeah. I mean, you earned it. You sold all this stuff. You made all this money. What do you want to get paid, or do you want to take this car stereo stuff? It's like, take the car stereo stuff. It's like, I don't know, Alex. What do I choose? You know, I mean, I was just
all the morale, all of it,
all of it, dude. I had all the morale, all the morale, and all the amps to go with them. You know, I had, I mean, we've talked about it. I had 6 amplifiers at the time. And 6 Orion, something 222s, 250s, 2125, a bunch of Morels, 2 tweeters, a mid bass, three-way front stage active plus sub, so 4-way, set of coaxial Morels in the rear, 4 Audax tweeters throughout the dash and little air vent things, because that was a thing. Did you ever put tweeters in the air vents?
I didn't, but it was a big thing. I definitely remember that. It was huge.
Stupid. God.
Oh, you were the dopest. You were the dopest if you had those in there, though.
Oh, dude, I had 4. I had 2 in the center, and then 2 off in the side. And everyone's just like, "What are these?" I'm like, "They're fucking tweeters, bro." I got it. I mean, they're little Audax tweeters. They're the little tiny plastic things.
I think they still make the same ones today.
Probably. I think they were like $10. They're probably 20 now. Most cardio shops in the 90s had groupies. We totally had groupies. We had stickers that you put on the window. It was so much fun, you know. And you know, the guys would order like stickers that match the paint on their cars.
Oh yeah, I was one of those guys. I was at the cardio shop. I was debating. It was so nuanced. Like, man, I could spend $300 on this Planet Audio amp, which I didn't know was made by Zed back then.
Yeah.
Or I need to save up $200 more and I could get the Rockford Fosgate that I want. That was the big debate, whether to wait or whether to get the one, the good one.
So I remember I had the 7909. And if for those of you guys that don't know what that is, come on, really? You call yourself car audio fans? It's an Alpine radio. Anyways, I had a 7909 in my car that I bought when I was in high school. It was the first time I ever had to get a loan to buy something. I had to my mom co-sign because it's like $1,000. Single set of RC outputs. I mean, this thing was just maybe single, double. I don't know. Who cares? Pull out. And so I remember I kept that forever. And I sold it like twice and got it back. And it finally ended up in Sue's car. And she had no idea what she had, nor did I care at that point because it was just like, we've moved on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, stupid.
Old stuff.
Yeah, garbage. But I remember having the conversation with my boss because he was like, dude, you still have an Alpine radio in your car? I was like, yeah, it's pretty dope, man. I worked hard for that. He goes, yeah, we don't sell Alpine. And I go, and he goes, well, you keep taking people out to show them your car. We don't sell Alpine. I said, so what are you trying to tell me? Not in so many words. He goes, you need to put a Clarion in there because we sell Clarion. And I go, all right. Well,
give me the auto PC, bro.
That was way later. This was way later. Okay, come on. We had 22 cassette players on display.
Yeah. I had the Clarion motorized face cassette deck.
Oh yeah, so they made this one that came with like this giant remote that was like this big. It was kind of odd shaped, and it came down like this, and there was it was either a CD or cassette behind it, and then of course the Pig Race was the last iteration of that we had before. That was the Alpha Touch, which constantly broke, so we ended up losing the line because of Alpha Touch. But you know, it was like the first CD players we had by Clarion was 22 watts by 2 with 4 sets of preamp outputs. And that was it. It didn't have by 4. It was so when they sold them the CD player, I think it was $249. So when we sold them the CD player, they had these 2 little amplifiers that look like single DIN EQs.
Yeah.
But without the knobs, that you'd have to sell them either a 2-channel or a 4-channel version of it to power up the rear speakers.
So Clarion was bad about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was either that or a Sony or Denon that skipped. So it was like, but yeah, we sold the hell out of Clarion. Clarion was the first brand that my owner, he sold $100,000 worth of Clarion that year. He bought $100,000 of Clarion that year, and it got him a cruise. And he had never done that before. And at that point, he kind of realized that this car audio thing might take off, and put some effort into it. And after that, it was like, and that was probably 93 or 4.
Could you imagine winning a cruise in 2021? You'll be like, no thanks, bro, I'll pass.
Well, that's the funny thing is Kicker does the cruise all the time, and obviously not this year.
I mean, like post-COVID, like, no thanks, I'm not getting stranded on a boat for months.
no, yeah. But like the funny thing is like component sets were not a big thing. So they weren't a big thing, like,
but separates were huge.
Separates were huge. Like everyone wanted active. Everyone was like, you need 3 amps. What do I need 3 amps for? Tweeter, mid, and sub. There was no fader. There was no rear. Rear wasn't even an option. It was just you're gonna get 4 tweeters, 4 mid range, and a sub. And there was no balance or fader. It was just tweeter up front, tweeter in the back, mid range in the front, mid range in the back, or just front stage, tons of front stage, and a radio might power whatever we throw in the rear because coaxials were a thing.
Yeah.
I feel one of the things that really screwed up the market, at least in our place, was when they started putting crossovers into the radios.
Yeah.
That really hurt the amp sales because before you'd have to sell an amp to get that crossover. And now they're putting it in the radio, and my cheap owner was like, dude, we don't have to sell amps. We can just put the radio in. I'm like, what? Yeah, just sell them a radio amp and for sub. What? What?
That's terrible.
Oh, dude, I cannot tell you how many times we do like 4 coaxials, a shitty deck, and a big surfboard of an amplifier and 2 12s and a bandpass. And that was like, this is dope, man. This is dope. This is so cool. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, that was a lot of people that I knew. They wouldn't even upgrade their stock speakers.
Yeah,
they'd have a head unit and then bass. Stock speakers. So
Pioneer 3-ways. Try Pioneer 5-ways.
Pioneer got crazy with it.
5-ways, baby. I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did have some. Like I had some talking points that we could jump off.
Go. Let's go on. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
One time I'm seeing this Latino comes in, and this is like way early on where Latinos just weren't coming in. This is before 5-star, and he goes, "You got the 5-ways?" And I'm like, what? You got the 5-way. And I'm like, the 5-way is this? What is it? What's a 5-way? You got the 5-way, pointing down in the case. You got the 5-way. And I'm like, speaker? 5-way speaker? Yeah, you got the 5-way. The Pioneer. And I go, I have no idea. Let me check. So we ordered him a set of 5-ways. I was like, I didn't even know they made these things. I was like, wow. But all right, talking points.
Pioneer was crazy with those. They done several. All right. So one of my first one was what were the hot amps in the 90s that you remember, and then I'll do some that I remember.
Hot amps in the 90s. Obviously anything Rockford Fosgate, Orion was big. Okay, where we're at, there was Orion and there was Rockford Fosgate. And that was primary. Precision Power was just coming on the scene. We also had Lanzar was one of the places in the area. So Lanzar, so that was like, because you buy Lanzar with Redline speakers, which was like whatever. So I mean, a lot of the times you were dictated by what that shop sold. So like we had the Rockford Fosgate shop that sold Rockford Fosgate, and like they eventually got JL Audio. Pardon me, we sold Orion, and that eventually. Alpine, believe it or not, was really, really big at one point. When the V12 dropped, that just was like, you got them V12s, bro. You got them V12. You got the expert V12. Yes, we have those. We have the 1500.1. And then like Hyphonics was big for a minute, but then no one in our area sold them anymore, so they just dropped out. And I don't remember when Macintosh came on the scene, but we sold the hell out of Macintosh.
That's crazy. That was literally non-existent around here. I only knew about Macintosh because of the magazines.
Yeah, we sold the hell out of Macintosh. I mean, dude, it was great for like 3-4 years. You know, it was like, because when the first video screen dropped, like when that first CVA 1000 from Alpine came out, what does it do? That. Where do you put the CD? Nowhere. Got to buy a changer. What else can it do?
Great.
Can I watch a movie on it? Can I watch a movie on it? Technically, no. But if we cut open the cable and solder in an RCA in the right spot, yes. What do you have? I mean, we have $1,000 VCR we could put in there. Really? Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Wow.
Or we have the 5200, 5100, their first DVD player that didn't have memory. Anyways, so every time you turn off the car, it start over, and you have to go through the sucked.
Good times.
Good times. Not really. Anyway, so what are yours?
So we had the same setup as Rockford, Fosgate, and Orion.
Yep.
Those were two big ones, which makes me wonder how Orion ended up failing. And that's something we could talk about in a later date because they were huge.
Then it's easy enough. Sam Taylor got fired and Kareem Jacobs bought him. Done.
Yeah, but those were the two big ones. Each one had their own other separate brands around it. Like the Orion had Sony and Kenwood for their decks.
Yes.
The Rockford Fosgate house had Clarion and Denon. And no, they didn't have Denon. They had Clarion, and they had the Rockford Fosgate, the Denford Rockford Fosgates, and then the other Rockfords.
Denford?
Yeah, that's what the Rockford Fosgate head units that were made by Denon.
Most of them were made by Delco. They were made by Delco.
Yeah, but the high end one, the copper chassis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called in the DIY realm. That's called the Denford head unit.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, if it's dead on it, had a Sony transport, which means it skipped.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Denon skipped anyways. But
yeah, that's because Denon was Sony.
Yeah,
they used the Sony transport.
And we only had that was the two big ones, and we had a third one, and they carried all the other stuff. So this was like the exotic place. They had Phoenix Gold, they had JL Audio, because JL Audio wasn't huge around here.
Wasn't
at first.
Well, it really wasn't anything here either, and they were here.
Yeah, and they blew up, but they had Phoenix Gold, they had JL, they had not Soundstream, they had Precision Power.
Yeah,
Soundstream wasn't nowhere around here, and they had Extant.
Oh, I hated those.
Yeah.
We had Soundstream for a minute. We got Soundstream right before they sold. So we had them for like 2 years before they sold. And it was like, there again, it was just like, whatever. I look back at some of the stuff that, I always laugh at some of the stuff that has been through my fingers that I just didn't give two shits about because it really wasn't that exciting. It's like way more exciting now than it was back then. Like we had the Da Vinci, the real Da Vinci with the handles, and couldn't tell you a thing about it. Never, we got one in because it was like you had to get one in, and they gave us a killer deal on it, and it sat in the case. And it's like, what does this thing do? I don't know. It's like a 7-channel amplifier or something like that. I'm like, where are we gonna put this? Why did you buy this? It's like, and someone came in that was just like, hey man, do you guys got a Da Vinci? And it was like, yep. Here you go.
Here it is.
Yeah, killer deal on it. Remember Targa?
They weren't around here, but I know about them from magazines, and I knew that I was like, they presented themselves like really high end stuff, and then it's like you get it, and you're like, wait a minute, this ain't no Porsche.
No, it was garbage. It was total garbage. I mean, we had that for a little bit as our entry level.
Yeah.
Before we figured out that we don't we carried Jbl amplifiers. Jbl used to make these giant white amplifiers with purple writing all over them.
Yeah.
They were like just freaking huge. I mean, the heat sinks must have been made out of 1/2-inch aluminum. I mean, they had this big one that was like 4100. I swear to God, it must have been this big. And some dude came in and stole it off our wall and stuffed it down his pants and walked out the door. And I'm like,
how did he do that?
Fuck did he do that? I mean, totally blew my mind. I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
That third store, I'll tell you, the first the system I heard that I was like, wait a minute, there is more outside of Rock Frostgate and Orion. Was the Phoenix Gold, the ZPA 0.5 on a trio of JL Audio 12W6s. And I heard it in like a Camaro. I can't remember the model. It was like an IROC model.
Yeah,
I don't remember what year. And dude, I was like, oh my God. There's something.
Did you ever hear of Oz?
Yes, we had Oz around here, surprisingly.
Which is funny because it was just like this generic woofer with a sticker on it. Like they didn't even have like a real dust cap. It was just like a sticker.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, and they were cool because they didn't put the sticker on the dust cap. They put it on the cone.
On the cone, yeah.
And it was like, oh, so avant-garde. Because we had this one guy that was just like total Oz extant fan.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, I'm not, XTRs suck. I have this Oz woofer. And of course, young me was like, I don't give a shit. So you want to suck is basically what you're saying. It's like, no, because I hadn't figured out at that point in my life which would make sense much later. If you're not on my team, you suck.
Yeah.
I was guilty of it. I mean, I was as guilty of that. I mean, if it wasn't Orion, die, and then if it wasn't Diamond or Image Dynamic, like I think so, Orion faded away as naturally. It was one of those things in my memory. It's one of those things that just kind of did this and it was like gone one day.
Yeah.
And we're doing other things. Like we had Kenwood, we had Alpine, Clarion I know what happened to them. Like I know when we lost Alpine because most stereo shops lose brands or separate themselves from brands, but you always want to run with a brand as long as you can, because as a retailer, you build up a following based on some of the brands you carry, especially back in the 90s. So like I said, there was a shop that carried Rockford. So you'd walk in, the guy would go, yo, y'all carry Rockford? We're like, no, man, we don't carry that crap. We carry Orion, dog. Man. And they'd be like, whatever. I'm going to Auto Audio up the street.
That's exactly how it was too.
Yeah. It was like
it always boiled down to Orion and Rockford Frostgate.
Right. And so we sold a shit ton of Orion. Like literally that was our staple brand. And that was also one of the things that got scary because like we literally had Clarion, Orion, and like we had some Denon and Morel stuff. And then that faded away into like Kenwood and JBL because we'd always had some JBL. So, and then like JBL faded away because like Clarion speakers, we could start selling those. So it was like, and eventually we worked our way into Image Dynamic, and then Image Dynamic, faded away, and Diamond came in and filled the void when Image Dynamic exploded on itself because those dumbasses wanted to build a DSP. Yeah. So they come into us and like we were one of the largest dealers because that was the only sub we sold, and we sold tons and tons and tons of subwoofers, and that's why they loved us because it was like, we're just going to sell your stuff. It's not going to compete against anybody else. Like you come into us, we're going to just move this stuff out like it's candy. Yeah. And so they would come and talk to us, and I remember them coming in and the guy's all excited and he's like, yeah, man, we're getting ready to come out with this processor. It's going to be awesome. You're going to use a little, the ThinkPad things, that horse shit. Yeah. And we're just sitting there going, why would you do this? Are they giving it to you for free? I mean, why do you want to get it sell? You make speakers, maybe amplifiers, but stay in your own lane, bro. No. We got to do this. I mean, in hindsight, yeah, it was probably the right move, but not at that point.
Yeah, they were just too early on it.
Way too early. Some manufacturers, like Alpine, is synonymous with coming out with shit way too early. And then right when it gets popular, going, no, we don't need this anymore.
Yeah. We tried that.
What?
Yeah.
It's like two-way communication on alarm systems. They've had that for like before everybody. And it's like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're good. Tailing back to Targa.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my next talking point wasn't all old school equipment just top-notch, excellent, made in the USA?
No, it was all crap. Don't kid yourself. It was all crap.
People forget, there's very few quality pieces.
Yeah, it was all crap. I mean, let's be honest. Even the Orion, Rockford, it was all crap. It was literally all garbage. Like all the nostalgia, dude. I remember having that. You know, if I pull out the Fro gave me the 250, if I pull the back off of that, you guys are gonna look and go, "What a piece of shit!" Like if you didn't see the Orion logo on the other side, you'd be like, "Where'd you get that Chinese hunk of shit?" You know, it's like, bro, that's prime like 89, 88 Ryan badass 8-gauge wire power having 500-watt amplifier. That was like $500, $550. What are you talking about? Crap. It was all garbage. It was all garbage. It was all noisy. Oh my God. Like complaining about floor noise. Are you kidding me? Get in the car and it's like, what's that? It's floor noise. What is floor noise? That's floor noise. You got your gains up too high. What are gains? They're volume knobs, bro. Oh my God. I'm only halfway up, man. I'm only halfway up. I could still go up more. No, you can't.
Classic line.
We're gonna take off. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. Engine noise. Like the whole reason why you ran wires down one side, because yes, these things were goddamn noisy. Yeah. But I will say this: we did have great FM. We had some of the best FM back in the 90s. Oh, FM was so good. Oh my gosh. FM tuners were the shit. They suck now. You can't get an FM. If you're trying to if you legit want to listen to FM in your car stereo right now, stick with the factory radio. Because these aftermarket FM tuners ain't good for shit. They're garbage. Super Tuner 2700.
Yeah. Remember that Pioneer kind of made their name on those tuners back in the day.
Oh, dude. And it's so funny, too. Like, Pioneer just hurts themselves over and over again. Like, we were talking about, what was it? The Pioneer Premier. Like, Pioneer was its own brand. And it was awesome stuff. And it was all, like, the quality Japanese-built stuff that was just like, oh, this stuff is so nice. But Pioneer didn't like that. And as soon as that first crash came around back in 2006, oh no, we have to get it. It was their excuse to shave off Pioneer Premier. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to spend the money. What do you mean you don't want to spend the money? You're making money. How do you not want to? Okay, you guys are dumb. But super tuners. Guys would literally walk in the store and go, "Y'all got them super tuners?" What? Yeah, the super tuners. Or you got them GPS. That was another one. You got them GPS? Yeah, we have the Alpine. No, man. I need the GPS. I need the GPS with the dual drives, man. And I'm actually just doing that to change the voice between mine and whoever I was talking to. They didn't all sound like that. They sounded normal, but we're trying to emphasize, because Pioneer used to have a drive for CD and a drive for nav. Yeah. And it was like, okay, I could just sell you this with a Garmin and it would be better. No, man. No. I need that. Okay.
It's like people buying factory nav units in 2021. Like, dude,
still do it.
Still $1,200 and $2,000.
$400 for navigation.
I know.
Garmin gets $400 for every navigation they sell.
That's insane. I got another question to kick us a totally different way.
Yes.
I'm trying to think now in the mindset of somebody that was born in 2005, let's say.
Okay.
So, they're 15, 16 now.
Yep.
And they see a picture in a magazine, and the question I would say is, and I'm going to put it how I thought they would put it: kick panels, LOL, why?
Dude, aftermarket speakers in car, LOL, why?
Yeah.
I mean, what is kick panels? We talking kick panels, man. Speakers, LOL. What are those? I like my Dre's, dog. What you got like Dre's? I mean,
no. I would say earpods now.
I mean, let's be honest. When we were building boxes back then, okay, so everyone, why don't you build boxes? Why don't you build boxes? I built boxes for 14 years straight. Okay. 14 years, all I did was custom trunk flushes, boxes, custom trunk flushes, and boxes. I cannot stand sawdust. I freaking hate it. Don't want any part of it. It gets everywhere. Glue smells like just, when I came to 5-Star, we were building boxes. And every time I build a box, I'd have to clean the whole install bay. I'd build a box, clean the install bay. And I'm like, this is dumb. He doesn't understand how long it takes to build a box. So I didn't want to build boxes anymore. But when we were building boxes, it was like, dude, all right, what are we going to put in this trunk? Every box was a one-off custom. How loud can we make this car sound? Yeah. So, I mean, because that's what mattered. You know, it was like, bro, I heard y'all make some good boxes here. Yeah. All right, well, I want that bandpass box. My buddy's got one of those. Can y'all fit the 212 bandpass box in my car? Yeah. Or the bass box? The bass
and
box.
And then they're aghast when you tell them how much it is.
Oh, dude, we were cheap. Oh, we were cheap. Are you kidding me? We were cheap as shit. It's like $120 for a 212 bandpass.
Dude, are you serious?
Oh, dude, we made no money. He was an idiot.
I think they were charging like $350 around here.
Oh,
even back in the 90s.
Dude, I worked for a moron. Okay, I mean, I loved the guy to death back then. Yeah. I worked with the ground he walked on, but in hindsight, it was like, you're an idiot. This is why you're no longer in business. You're just stupid. One day he'll watch this and be like, "Oh, fuck you." Yeah. Because MDS sawdust sucks. It does. It all sucks. So does pine. Pine makes me sneeze. So, you know, that was the dream. Like, that was the dream. Like, back then, we all got into car audio to build boxes. Like, we thought if you could build a box, you could be a car stereo installer. And that was it. I had so many guys, because I ran the install bay for the whole time I was back there. You know, and it was like, every time you needed to hire someone, they'd all come in and they'd be like, "Hey, come out and check out my car. I want to show you the box I built." And I'd be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you put an alarm in? Do you know how to wire up a radio? Do you know how to take the door panel off without breaking it? I mean, can you do any of that stuff? Because, like, I'm pretty sure you're going to show me a box that'll take me a half hour to build, and it'll make you feel stupid. You know, what are you talking about, man?" I'm like, dude, come on, man. Seriously? This is what I do. Go look at the pictures. Can you do that? No? Okay, go away. You know, but you didn't want to do that. You'd be like, "Oh man, that looks cool. That's nice job. Let's see your wiring. Let's show me your wiring." Okay, well, all right. Well, you can use some improvement. All right. Well, you know what? I tell you what. You know, can you work here and here? How are these hours? And you'd hire them, and then you'd spend, like, you know, some time trying to figure out. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then you'd be like, oh my God, like, these guys are so dumb. And then you become a babysitter. I mean, I can't tell you how much time as an installation manager, you are a babysitter. Oh my God. You know, because literally you got these guys back there that are just struggling with everything. And you're like, "Do you guys, like, seriously? Like, come on, man." I mean, common sense doesn't work here. What the frick?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got car audio guys back there most of the time, so it's going to be a little sketchy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that too. Back in the 90s, most car audio guys were stealing the stuff as soon as they put it in. It was like there was a lot of criminals that were great car stereo installers, but knew how to get your shit out.
And uninstallers as well.
Yeah, they were great uninstallers. Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, so I have a next question for you.
Yep.
How did we time align, crossover, and EQ back then?
Just years, man. All right, so there was like two RTAs. You had the big audio control, which, you know, the big 30,
which also doubled as the SPL mic,
which is all it was good for. For most people. Most people, you know, it's like, what are you doing with this? I don't know. I mean, honestly, all right, side tangent. The first deal we did with audio control, like the first, like, "Hey, we want to pay you guys for something." I was like, "Listen, don't pay me. I want a deal on one of those RTAs." And they're like, "Well, we don't really even make them anymore." I was like, "Do you have any in stock? Can you make one? I mean, can you get the parts?" That's all I want. I never got to have one back in the 90s. I would love to have one now. And Chris actually found me one that they had back in the back, like buried on a shelf, that had been sitting in this spot for 7 years and had never moved. And he's like, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" He goes, "We found this." He goes, "We're going to send it to you." I was like, "Really?" He goes, I said, "How much do I owe?" He goes, No. It's covered. This will be your. I was, dude, when that came in, I was like, "Oh, yeah, woo, Fernando, check this out." He's like, "What are you getting so excited about?" I'm like, "Dude, look at this." He's like, our little PA3 does all this, and it's actually, you can read it. This looks like Pac-Man from the 1980s. I'm like, shut up!
We're fixing to have some bass tournaments, bro.
Calm down. This is the freaking awesomest thing ever. You had that acoustic one, which I actually have now too, which is really cool. And then we had a gold line, which was this ugly other piece of crap, which I still have. Doesn't work, but I still have it. And no one knew how to use them at our store or in our area for that matter. I mean, I know Jeff Smith was out there doing all kinds of fun stuff, but that would be the kick panel thing. That's why you did kick panels, so you could move your speakers out more and do all that fun stuff. So it really came down to speaker placement. And that's why you saw like people moving seats into the center of the car and doing all that stuff. Because time alignment, I don't know what people were using for time alignment back there. I mean, EQs were just like,
the V,
baby. And distortion detection. Excuse me, let me get out my digital multimeter and adjust my output voltage here. Is that peak light coming on in that amplifier? Yeah. All right, we're good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or you could buy the big, third octave EQs, one for right, one for left.
Oh, the Reigns.
And they were like, this big crossover made, or Crossfire made some, and Image Dynamics made some.
Yeah, that was the one thing I really wanted that I never bought, and I was like, God damn it. But crossovers are even funny. Like the Orion had the CX 200 and the CRX 200 and the 300, and you used to have to plug one into the other to do a four-way. And it was literally like nothing. There was no numbers on them at all. It was just like you had to, all right, where's the stop and start point? And you'd just go in there and you'd be like,
seems good.
All right, play that song again. All right, play that.
Well,
right,
and
turn that up.
The best part is a lot of those, like those EQs, they were thin, rack mount looking, and people would mount them on the back deck of their trunk, So
and they drop it, and
you listen, and then you go over there and you tweak. You listen, and you go over there and you tweak it a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was, and that's the funny thing. So like back then, that's how we would do stuff. I'm sure there was better ways to do it. We just weren't doing it. And so like before a show, when people would say, we're tuning the car again, we're going to go at it. And it's like, okay, that made sense because it was like, those were game pots. Those, you might want to go in there and twist it just a little bit to knock off some of the, like the cobwebs or, you'd always just go back there and twist the knobs, just a little bit and put them back where they were just because, but nowadays these guys do this. Oh yeah, we're getting all together. Listen, I'll be standing in the park. Yeah, we all hung out last night and tuned all the cars and retuned them all. And I'm like, what changed? I mean, you sat in the parking lot a week ago or a month ago and played the car, and then you're playing it again today. What changed? It's the same speakers, the same amps, same processor. It's digital. It never moves. There's no fluctuation whatsoever. The speakers only play when you play them here, and it's not like they're 5-year-old speakers. It's not like they're going to change.
Are these SQ competitors?
Yeah.
That's why the judge changes. The judge changes. That's what happens.
But the judge changes, so he hasn't heard your other thing. So what does it matter? And it's like, and I'm just like, okay.
But see that the whole thing that's weird about SQ, like they can never just be like, this is the best system you can do. It cannot be better. They always have to find some flaw.
Yeah, because the judges play it. There's no perfect score. It's like that was always the thing back then. Because we'd go to a couple shows and it was always like, there's no perfect score. No one gets a perfect score. And it's like, you guys are dicks.
They had to keep the industry alive. That's why, because then one person got the perfect, like, we're all going to do this. And
dude, I remember being in a lane with a buddy of mine, and he had his car, and he's just like, hey, you want to go along? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And they're all at car stereo shops, and it's always the car stereo, like the installer or someone's being the judge or some shit like that. And this guy, and he's like, you didn't invent the batteries, and I'm like,
yeah.
They're sealed batteries. They don't freaking breathe, bro. You didn't invent them. they're not emitting any gas. Well, I don't see any pipes coming off them. They don't need any. Are you freaking stupid? They're literally sealed back. You could turn these upside down and they will not leak. Oh, no, you got to have. For what? A case? A case what? You guys are dumbass. Well, the rule book here says the batteries in the car have to be vented. Okay. And my buddy's like, calm down, calm down. I'm like, no, this guy's an idiot.
They ding people for like alarms, not having an alarm. It's just
an alarm not having an alarm.
Yeah. All right. Let's finish on this one. This is going to be a good finisher right here. Are there any brands from the 90s that you wish were still around today?
Oh, Orion. But not the Orion that's around now.
Yeah. Not Orion that's around now is base Orion.
I don't know what it is. I don't get involved. I wish it would have stayed a brand that we could do things with. And I mean, who knows where it would be? I mean, would it be just another Rockford clone? Would they have, because I look at all these brands, like I look at Diamond and what they become, and I look at Vega and what they become, and I look at like all the Crunch, the Hyphonics, all those brands at what they become, Soundstream. It's like all these brands that are just like so lackluster and so just sad. And this is the part I don't understand. Like, those are all old brands from the 80s and 90s. Okay. That nobody, like you said, the guy that's born in 2015 or 2000, whatever, 5.
Yeah.
He doesn't know any of these brands. Why do they even matter? You know what I mean? Like Precision Power. They don't know what Precision Power is. They don't even give a shit. No, I mean, it's like, I just don't even understand why these brands, why even keep the name? Like the guys that brought back Nakamichi, like, who cares? I mean, you could have called it whatever you wanted. I would have definitely come up with a better brand name, maybe something like, I don't know, spend some money on a poll, but to sit there and have some nerds go, oh my God, I think they're bringing Nakamichi back. No, it's going to be made in China. Silly
like people don't know what's going on. That's the part that gets me. Is like people know what Polaroid's done this for how many years now? We know what you're doing. And there's Polaroid everything. It's not just even cameras anymore. It's just it could be anything Polaroid.
I would totally buy a Polaroid toaster.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make one of those.
That'd be cool. But I mean, that to me is just the sad part of it. It's like, it's like, okay. So, I mean, as we know, this industry has many segments. So it's like, I look at like, you have the Helix, the Audison, the Focal, Moscone, Gladen, the Ground Zeros, and like these companies that are over here that are just, and then there's a dozen more. This is just the ones that pop in my head because there's so many that are like over here, and these are like these, for lack of a better word, esoteric brands that are what the brands in the 90s are now. They're the guys that are pushing the industry in this direction of like, stop selling crap. Stop selling crap. And then you have the brands that are selling crap, but it's affordable stuff. So, and I don't mean crap in a bad way. It's just stuff, right? We could say stuff, but crap sounds better. That are just like, they're over here pushing this stuff out and going, yeah. It's just literally boxes and boxes. It's just how much? How many? Yeah, sold. 415 zero weight, $4 piece. It's like, and it's just like it's just flooding the market with the stuff, and people buy it, and I can't blame them for it because it's cheap.
Right.
And it's like, it's not terrible stuff, but it's not going toward. It's kind of,
and that speaks right to this, like, being says funny, Orion still makes cheater amps and wins trophies and comps. Okay.
Yes.
But what we were saying is Orion used to be in direct competition with Rockford Fosgate.
Yes.
That is a totally different ball field now. Like, you can do good in comps.
Okay, so there's exactly what I was talking about. So there's somebody that might not have been around in the 90s to know what Orion we're talking about. And the Orion that they know is not the Orion that we know. Just like somebody that was born and saw this current Star Wars and was like, man, this stuff is cool. And that's all they know. And then they go back and they watch like the original New Hope stuff and like, this stuff is dumb. You guys like this crap? No, man. this new Orion stuff, man, you guys don't know what you're smoking. And they're right. It's a totally different company. It's a totally different company. And I'm not knocking they make cool stuff, but they don't make the nostalgic brand that it's a totally different company now. And that's okay. Don't confuse the two. It's just why they needed that name, because it doesn't matter. It could have been called Pluto.
Right.
It wouldn't have mattered, because the guys that like me that bought it because it was Orion back in the 90s are definitely not buying it now because it says Orion on it, because we know it's not the same. It's like, what is this stuff?
And now they're just buying it because it like performs. It does really well over what they rated, and that could have sold it under any name.
Yeah, they just chose that name because it was like, oh, hey, this name is established. Somebody might buy it because it says Orion on it back from the 90s, even though these people weren't around in the 90s.
Scott says ADS, wished ADS was still here. That was, that was kind of the parent company at some point to Orion, but I did like ADS, the original ADS.
The original little sexy little gray ones.
Yeah. Oh, and they made 8 channels. They were like one of the first 8-channel amps I knew about.
Yeah, little 8x25s. Dude, you had HK amplifiers. Remember the big HK amplifiers?
Oh, yeah.
Big power supply on that. Oh, those things were so cool looking.
All heatsink.
Yeah, all heatsink, like 3-inch death heat strings. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were sweet.
But they're again, Bazooka's kind of still around. I
think so. Yeah, I looked them up.
I think it's still the same company. I just, who cares?
Yeah.
There was a lot of things, and there again, I'm not bummed about any of it, because when they left, something filled the void, and the thing that filled the void is probably better. And who knows what the company would be now? When you look at Rockford and you're like, hey, and you go, oh, I mean, what's really going on there? It's supposedly car audio, but it's not anymore. They're shifting gears, and they're really focusing on that side-by-side market in the motorcycle market, which is fine. Hey, there's money there, and they want to be part of it, and they want to be known as that brand. But then they're leaving every 12-volt guy behind, because if you think about it, what have they come out? They came out with the R2s amplifiers, and the R2 was just an excuse to make an affordable marine amplifier. It's not like
in the JL field, they like to fill that void in the marine market, so I guess they're kind of specializing a little bit.
Well, they bought Clarion Marine, so that they could make a different line of marine. There's a lot of money in it. They're silly not to. I'm definitely not going to be like, no, don't do that. No, follow your dreams, do what you want.
We're not loud.
Yeah, we're not going to stop you. But there again, it's also like you have to decide where your loyalties lie. And a lot of these companies now, it's with the almighty dollar, and they just don't care about you, the consumer, anymore. They don't care. They do not care. How many are you going to buy? That is the question that gets asked. How many are you going to buy?
Do you full of Polaroids?
I'm sorry, the internet did stupid things.
Oh, I said, do you still have a binder full of Polaroids?
In the attic, I think there's something close to that. Yeah, probably can't see them anymore, but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Cheese pizza, by the way. What's up, Mr. William Bird?
Yeah, William Bird. What's going on?
25 for life was cheese or pepperoni. I actually had cheese before the show started. The plate sitting over there.
I'm a cheese over plain pepperoni as well.
Acoustic was good. Oh yeah, Acoustic. That was another one, because you had that whole MyTech company that was Acoustic and a couple other brands. Wasn't one of them? Oh God, I was forgetting.
Then they ended up getting Streetwires at some point.
Yeah,
it was MTX, Acoustic.
That's it. Was it Extant too? No.
Extant was tied up with Precision Power a little bit.
Were they?
Or they were derivative of, or something like that.
Because I thought Acoustic and Extant were the same MyTech company. Because MyTech was.
I think Extant might have been a MyTech company. I think you're right.
Yeah. I think that was like the high end.
Right.
Acoustic at the low end, MTX was like the bread and butter, and then Extant was their like high end. Because at that point in time, that was how they were starting to consolidate. And here's the funny part. Remember when Japanese I know, I'm sorry, we're going long. Remember when Japanese amplifiers were like crap?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get a Japanese amplifier. It's a piece of crap. But
now they're like
we're Japanese.
Yeah. Well, that's like, they didn't think that we had Korean amps back in the day. Crossfire's been a Korean brand from day one when they come out in the mid 90s to now. It's
we didn't have Chinese amplifiers either.
Oh yeah, of course not.
We weren't getting our parts from China either.
Of course not.
Not at all.
So
Extant was MTX. All right, that's what I thought.
What do you have coming up? What should we be looking for?
Hopefully let's see. Tomorrow's Friday, not the conclusion. We're continuing on the Honda saga. I want to apologize for anyone who's like, dude, 7.5 minutes, because that's all they got last night. But
wait, I watched that.
Yeah,
I think I was like, part 3. Damn, it's over.
Yeah. Well, okay. So anytime I'm editing, there's always a start point and an end point that tells the story of what I'm trying to tell. And I couldn't go into the next portion of the story because
without making it too long.
It was like, okay, this is either got to be the cutoff point or we're gonna have to go another 10 minutes. And it was like, I want to go to bed. They'll love it. They'll get past it. I want to go to bed.
Yeah. 7 minutes it is.
7 minutes it was. And dude, I sat there and grappled with it for like 10 minutes going, oh man, what can I add to this to just get us, that extra 2.5 minutes? And it was like nothing that'll make any sense. So it was like, sometimes, Yamaha. Oh, I liked Yamaha back in the day.
I never got to play with any.
We got them in. We didn't sell them, but we got them in. People bring them in, and they're just like, what I always thought was funny is like, here's a little bit of power, here's a little bit more power, and here's a lot of power. It's like, do you guys understand how this works? They're all supposed to be the same size. No. Yeah. No, that's not how we do it. We just drag and drop it bigger as we're going across the page. It's like,
this snozzberries tastes like snozzberries.
Oh God.
But it goes perfect with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So yeah.
Right on. What do you got going on?
I don't have anything. I've actually I don't even know what video I'm going to do for Monday yet. So that'll be a surprise as always to you and me both. And then sound advice on Monday.
So since we've gone back and started doing the Instagram show, adding that back in on Monday, the rebroadcast of the Instagram show. Oh my God, I forgot one of the reasons why I really wanted to stop doing that. I totally put it out of my head. Dude, that's like a 12 gig file.
Dude.
It's like a 12 gig file because it's 5 to 6 days of like anywhere between a half hour to 45 minutes.
Dude, I should have sent you the video. I watched that when you put that. How long was that video? Was like an hour and 7 minutes, the one you just put up?
Probably something like that.
So I got off work and I started it and I'm sitting in the chair and I just pass out. So my son takes a video of the screen of you guys on the screen and me sleeping in the couch. I meant to send it to you.
I love doing that, man. There's one show that I'll do that on. I'll be like, because their voices are just so like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to everything they say, and I'll be like,
boom, I was out.
Star Wars, yeah. And then my wife will be like, why don't you just go to bed? I fucking was asleep. Why don't you just shut up and leave me alone? Oh,
yeah, they love waking us up. It's the best to them.
Yeah. No, that's it. Just more of that. We tried so hard this week to film the Morels and Fernando's car. It was like so on our list of things to do, but then our week just turned to dog shit, which seems to happen a lot lately. So yeah, it's just not been fun at work for sure. Not at all.
Well, I did make some changes to my Patreon, so I have a goal up there. If we reach a monetary goal for the month, I'm going to do an exclusive podcast for only Patreon. So, if
you need a hand, let me know. I'll throw some time behind it for you.
All right.
I don't mind. Man, what the hell? Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what we're gonna do with trying to bring back a podcast, but we're working on ideas right now. It's amazing how long it takes to come up with a good idea. But Fernando will come up with a great idea. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. You're gonna have to do some work though. Oh, all right. Let me get back to you.
I've made a mistake.
He's like, we should talk about this. I'm like, you can't even remember what we did yesterday.
Have you ever seen Pineapple Express?
Yes.
When he's dating that young girl, Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And he accidentally tells her he loves her on the phone, like he's gonna die. And then she's like, "Oh my God, I've loved you." He's like, "I've made a mistake."
Yeah. 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 No, that's totally Fernando, because he's like, yeah. I'm like, you'd have to take some notes or something. And then he goes, "Oh, you know what we can do? We'll just go back and watch the Instagram before we do the show, and then we'll remember what we're working on." And I was like, that's not a bad idea.
I do that quite often.
Memory. Because he's like, we should do like a behind the scenes, talk about all the shit that pissed us off.
That'd be a good one.
I was like, I don't know about that. I kind of like the illusion where like everything makes us happy. This is all so much fun. Yay!
Or just have one where people think Nando's being mean to you. That'd be a good idea. Because he's such a heel, man. He just doesn't. He can't. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it because he'd be like, "Oh my God, dude." I'm sorry, guys. We're running late. I apologize. But when we were doing the Installer of the Year video, I swear to God, I was so like, I'm trying. I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it. Like, come on, man. You need to do it. I don't want to do it. No. I'm like, so finally, I had to pull the listen. You're going to do it, and this is why. I've been training you for the past 9 years, and you need to do this because we need to show everyone who you are, what you've done, what you've learned. You're doing this for me, goddammit. And he's like, okay. I've been training you for the Super Bowl, bro. It's time for you to go out there and be Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. And so even like but he's so funny, man. He'll be such a like Debbie Downer, and then you'll be like, all right, and then be like, I don't know, man, I don't know. And then the camera comes on, he's like, hey, and you're like, what the fuck?
Is there an echo in here?
Yeah. If we film on the 1st or 15th, he's always really chipper on those days too.
Oh yeah, payday.
Oh yeah, he's super excited.
I'm pretty happy on payday too.
Yeah, what do you need to do today? All right, well, you're gonna put a bunch of roadkill in this car.
Oh man. All right.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Same Bat channel.
Same bat time.
Bye.